Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Right, today's review is the Svoëmesto Kayfun Lite Plus 2021 edition. Right, quick look around the box. We've got a couple of stickers on here which basically say it's a 100% genuine product. It's designed in Russia, made in Germany. Svoëmesto's logo there. We've got QR codes on both of the sides, and yeah, that's your outer box. We also get this box as well, which has a little bit of branding on the front. And it's a case of just pulling the box open like that and everything's presented. Nice hard box. Right, inside you get this pamphlet here which does contain your O-rings, a couple of Phillips screws. Well, you get 4 screws with this one, but you got 2 in yourself. You do get this chimney adapter as well. We'll look at that in a minute. Right, you also get a quick start guide, which basically says install your build screws, shows you how to do it. Lube up all of your O-rings is a good idea with any tank when you first get it. And you also get this like a warning pamphlet basically over there. Right, inside of here you obviously get your Kayfun Lite Plus. Now I've gone for the 24mm diameter version, but you can get it in 22mm if you want to. But you do get a spare bell cap which holds 5ml of e-liquid in either variety, I do believe. We'll have a look at that in a second, but first we'll have a look at the actual tank. Now I've just unscrewed that because I just had it all apart a minute ago. Right, on the top then, let's get in a little bit closer, shall we? Right, you will notice there is a little bit of branding on the drip tip. Svoëmesto's logo on the top there. This will pop out. Not the easiest to get out, especially if it's been sitting there a while. So you might need a tissue or something to do that. Nice fat O-rings going on inside of there, and that's what we look like inside. So obviously we do get a spare tip with the bell cap as well, so we'll just take that one off so you can plug that one into other modes, so you can have it looking like that if you want. I do prefer this tip, so we will leave that on for the minute. Right, airflow does come in by the side through this hole here, but it's adjustable with the bottom screw, which is the new AEROKON design. We will have a good look at that in a minute. Right, so on the top we got Svoëmesto's logo, Kayfun Lite Plus, usual markings, a bit of a serial number going on, and inside there is your adjustable pin for the airflow. And it looks like we got a black insulator. I'm not sure if it's peak, but yeah, it's not the usual colour, but that's what it's like. This will all come apart, obviously, if we want to put it in the tool mode, but pull that off. We've got bottom fill going on here. So you've got some nice fill-in ports, massive fill-in ports as ever with the Kayfun products. That's what we're looking like inside the bore. So as you can see, we've got a nice bit of banking going on, which does help condense the flavour. Now it holds 2ml in this particular mode, and this will all come apart. It should do anyway. So that's your piece there. So if you want to put it in the tool mode, and that's your other piece. So we've got no O-rings, you'll notice there between those. Get your little chimney extender piece here. That goes on here. Like they say, get a little bit of juice around these O-rings. In fact, we will do that now. So we'll talk about up top about this chimney piece and all the rest of it, but just a little drop just around here. Also want a bit around here as well. So the thing is, I found with this, I would suggest getting this piece nice and tight, because otherwise there is a tendency for it to get stuck in the top of there, which is a bugger to get out, and you need to use a pair of pliers or something. So get that nice and tight on there first. And the other thing is in here, I've tried a couple of O-rings, because when you put it inside of here, you'll notice when you start screwing it up, because basically I think that's plastic threading at the top as well, which isn't ideal. There you go, make sure you catch it properly, and then you just tighten it up, but you just see the O-ring there. Sometimes it will like snag up, so you just got to be very careful. I'm not sure if you can just see there. Yeah, so it doesn't look particularly very pretty. You can just see there it's snagged a little bit, so yeah, that's not ideal at all. Now there are some spare O-rings in here. You can choose to use a fatter one or whatever, but this one seems to be the one that works best for me. But like I say, you don't want to go too mad, and just make sure you've tightened up that piece tightly before you go like this. But yeah, so that's that. We'll leave it in this mode because you do get more capacity. Plug that tip back on there, and then we'll have a look at this deck. Actually, we won't put it on there, we don't need to. Right, so there's your Phillips screws then on here, so install them in. There's your AEROKON airflow, and these are your juice filling ports. Get it in screen, Michael. So you can just notice there are a couple of holes. That's where the juice is being pulled up from the bottom. And the adjustable airflow will just show you that. Get your pin inside there. You need to use a really small screwdriver, so that isn't ideal, like your Christmas cracker one. And you just notice there, it's fully closed at the moment. If you start unscrewing your screw, you will notice it basically goes down, so you can have a more airy vape. So yeah, what I like to do is, before you've actually put your build in, put it all back together. So you do notice you've got the nice like banking around here as well. Nice threads on there as well. And then just take a couple of puffs whilst you're screwing, so you set your airflow before you put it on your tank. But basically that is that, so we're going to throw a little build in it now. Right, today's build, we've got a Nature Vape 1-core Clapton, should come out around 0.68 ohm, 2.5 millimeters. Right, you can get these in packs of 6 or 8 depending on what cores you've got. Right, first off, you want to loosen your post screws and drop your cord in. Obviously with these particular cores here, you need to pull the legs out so they go the alternate ways rather than the same way. A little bit fiddly to do this is. I've got the 2.5 mil rod, so wish me luck. Obviously you want to get this centered in the deck underneath the airflow. But with the Kayfun type of decks, you do get the ledges on either side to help trap the lead where the screw is there. So that's nice. When you've screwed it down, we need to snip off these legs as close to here as possible. That one isn't down enough. I'll give it another tight in a minute. You don't want to go too mad with it. Not with a melted uncool. Tuck it round. You don't want that interfering with the chimney cap when you're putting it back on, because otherwise you'll get short circuits. Right, I like to raise mine about 1 mil or 2. Somewhere around there should be fine. Right, 0.69, so that's good, it's reading true. Right, so what we want to do here is make sure that you've got rid of your hot spots and glowing evenly from the inside out. Right, a little trick I do, if you want a spaced core, you can actually do it on the device. So give it a little couple of pulses. Just pull it slightly like that. Bit harder to do with mouth to lung, but one of my subs the other day said, oh, you didn't show that on your last build, so I'm making sure I do it on this one. There you go. It's not the prettiest of coils, but it will do. There you go. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Well, I'm just using about 1/2 centimetre of Muji cotton. So there you go. You want it not too tight, not too loose. Right, I like to fluff out my cotton. Give it a little rake. With Muji, it does help to give the cotton a little rake, just to make it a little bit, just evens it out a little bit, so it wicks up a little bit better, more effectively. Get rid of your stragglies. Right, now for the tricky bit. Tuck your cotton in, which isn't hard to do, but it's a little bit harder to do on camera. Right, make sure your cotton's not interfering with that airflow. So just clear it inside in there, just like that. It should be all right. Get your juice. A little bit more for luck. Right, there we have it, guys. So you can get your top cap now. Right, look at the resistance, says 0.74. So when we put this on, we don't want it to change. 0.72. Right, so remember to fill it up first. There you go, so use most of the bottle. There we have it, guys. So that is the Kayfun Lite Plus cooled and wicked up. So let's go back up top. I'll tell you what I think about it. Right, we're up top. We've got the Kayfun Lite Plus 2021 edition. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I hope you did enjoy the download section. Right, this one is from Svoëmesto. I actually purchased it from Le Petit Vapoteur in France for about 66 euros because I did have a 20% off coupon around Christmas time. However, since then, Le Petit Vapoteur have decided that their carrier is no longer shipping to the UK, which sucks because I have still got £11 store credit from loyalty. So I'm not too happy about that, but you can purchase this in the UK from Creme de Vape and other places if you look on Google. It retails for around £99.99, but I think SR Vapes are doing them for about £89.99 as well. So yeah, that's the price point. It's not the cheapest RTA in the world, guys. This is more like a high-end type tank, and I bought it as my Christmas present for Christmas. I only paid 66, so I'm super happy with that anyway. Right, what do I think of it then? Now, I've had the clone of this particular, the normal 2019 model. I had the 22mm version, really top drawer flavour I got from that. Wasn't too much of a fan of the plastic grommet for the airflow control in that, but the flavour on it was on point. Now, I never owned the authentic, so I can't comment on that, but yeah, it really was a cracking vape. Right, this one I've gone for the 24mm. You can go for the 22mm if you want. I just thought I just fancy the 24mm one because I don't think the chimney or anything is any less narrow. So I think the flavour is probably going to be the same on the 22 and the 24 version. Now I particularly like this one because you do get this spare bell cap included in the kit, which is definitely a plus point with this. Brings the capacity up to, I think it's 5mm, I can't remember now, and I've got nothing to refer to in front of me because I'm unprepared, but it might be 4.55mm. The standard capacity is 2mm. But yeah, so the mode I like it in is this one. I think it just looks very nice indeed in this particular mode. I've had no issues. I put aniseeds in here. I put some citrus vapes as well. And the tank hasn't cracked or anything like that, which is definitely a good thing. Now the fit and finish build quality is impeccable on here. The threads are really nice. The O-rings are really nice tolerances. Apart from the chimney O-ring, which I explained down below, you might find it looks a little bit snagged in it. At the moment that one's not too bad, but you might want to chop and change it with another O-ring to see if it fits a little bit better. But that's really the only snag I've found with it. You want to make sure you've got it tight, that chimney piece, make sure it's tight onto the chimney before you screw it into the top, because I do believe that it's threading onto plastic, so you've got to be super careful when you are doing that. Yeah, we don't have O-rings between the PCG, PCTG or whatever it's called, between these, but the seal on it's very good indeed. I don't notice any moisture at all below on the 510, so that's good. Nothing seeping through there either on the AEROKON AFC. Now let's talk about that new airflow, because you do need to use a very small screwdriver, such as one out of a cracker like I was using the old blue screwdriver, to adjust it. I wish it was slightly bigger, that screw, to be honest. Why can't I find my screwdriver? Literally you've got to use one like this. So that is a little bit of a niggle for it. I wish it had a slightly bigger screw so you could do that. Incidentally, if you want a super tight mouth-to-lung drawer, there is a spare pin, an aftermarket purchase you can buy if you want to get a super tight restrictive drawer. But I never purchased that because I like a slightly loose mouth-to-lung vape. Now, let's have a puff on it then. Now, my airflow I've got set so it's fairly loose. It's not too loose and it's not too tight, but that's how I like to vape it. And it's coming out at 0.72 ohms, the coil, and 15 watts. So here we go. And we're going to use the, can't remember what they called the tip on it now, but it's the, the curved tip on top. Just love the draw. Just hear the crackling going on there. So those that like a tight draw, we will just tighten it up a little bit. Right, so that's pretty tight. Let's just go round. Yeah, that was one tight. I think that was one 360-degree cycle. So let's have a go on that. Put the wattage down a little bit, 13.5 on the Aspire mix we've got here. So that's a little bit tighter, but you can just hear the crackling. That's where the e-liquid is being wicked up nicely. Nice and smooth, but you just hear there. It sort of sounds like it's groaning a little bit. Not too bad, but I found when you go tighter on it, you get a little bit more turbulence going on. I'm just going to put that a little bit tighter, in fact. Get the screwdriver in there. Put it around another quarter of a turn or so. wattage can come down more, 12 watts. It's not too bad. I just do hear a slight little bit of groaning, but it's a really good draw across the board with this one. There, you hear what I mean? I don't know if that was picking up on the mic, but for me, I like to have it slightly loose, like a couple of turns back, full 720 degrees. So you can open it right off if you want to try and do a bit more of a restricted direct to lung. Just get that pin loosened off a little bit further. And you can just hear there the sound of that. Right, put the wattage up to about 19. So we are getting some restrictive direct to lung going on there. And you might want to get your other tip for this one. It's still got a reduced bore going on there. In fact, it looks like it's the same bore, but if you did want to do direct to lung, get yourself something like that maybe. Looks a bit peculiar, but let's crank that up a bit. 23. There you go. You can do restrictive direct to lung on it as well. So super versatile, this one. You can do a nice restrictive direct to lung. You can do restrictive direct to lung on it as well, and anything in between. You can buy that extra pin and do a super fine tuned mouth to lung vape. But for me, this one ticks all the boxes. The flavour is absolutely on point. It's my favourite mouth to lung RTA. I'm getting a good 9.5 out of 10 for flavour. So this is my favourite tank. The Lamo I recently reviewed, it's very good. I gave that a 9 out of 10 for flavour. Where is my Lamo? Can't find it now. This one is obviously £35 though, and we have got an adapter from another model in there. Yeah, this one was, I bought it from Nature Vape, £35. This one is obviously a lot more expensive and it is a proper high end, but you get what you pay for. And this is my tank. It was my tank of 2020 because that's when I bought it, my mouth to lung RTA tank of 2020. But it's still holding its own now, and I will be carrying on using this one for a long time. I just think it looks excellent, especially on the mix. We've got a nice bit of matchy going on there. And yeah, it's just an all-round cracking vape, and highly recommended from me. So I hope you enjoyed the review, guys. If you did, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up icon, I should say. If you're new around the parts, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell as well, and you'll be notified of when my next video will be up. We've got a website, mf8.co.uk, and you can also find me on social media. So I hope you're all doing well out there, guys. Stay safe, take care of yourself, and I'll catch you on the next review. All right, cheers.